valid crash outs in this movie. That's for sure. What is Pulp?
This movie is so fun and has so many different layers to it.
The wife too is also a real one.
I mean, serial killing has never looked so good.
When I got out of the film, I'm like, man, those are the type of movies that I would want to make.
And welcome back to another episode of Pinoys versus the World. My name is Harald Hyllseth.
My name is Chris Angkico.
And Chris, we're inside. First episode on the L-shaped couch. Again, with friend of the pod, Jared Garalde. Welcome. With his own mic.
Hey, yeah, with my own mic. Thanks, y'all.
How
so I
does
don't
it
have to
feel?
keep stealing it from you. And also, thank you for filming inside because I'm so cold.
It's chilly out right now. We need to make one more shout out. I think you should make a shout out to how we got more mics for the pod.
Oh yeah, shout out to my parents for getting me my own
Let's go,
my
Angkico
own
family.
pair of mics. Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. I will be
the
taking
dream,
all.
man.
Just spoiler alert, I'll be taking all of these mics with me to Sundance Film Festival. I am leaving tomorrow.
Big time.
And so you're
big
gonna
time.
see other Jared of the pod, Jared Mack,
and some other friends,
along with a couple other people. We're gonna be getting all those mics. Surprise guests. We're gonna be getting those mics to work
on the field.
in the field.
coverage.
Yeah, we're gonna be in the field. This is the
Pinoys versus Sundance Film Festival.
the
I
first
love that.
out of state.
We're gonna need live
yeah.
reactions, live.
Yeah.
We're getting them
Yes.
from you. We're gonna
Yeah.
get them from you, which is
Yeah.
very exciting.
We're gonna have a good time. We got a few. I think about 6 movies that we know we're gonna see.
Okay.
And
Feature
then-
length or are they a mix?
Feature length.
Okay.
Feature length.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
all
yeah.
feature length.
Cool. Is there
so-
anyone you want to shout at? Like any of them you want to shout at the top that you're excited for? Or is this more like a general like, wow? It's because this is your second or your first film festival outside of like a SIF, like in the
This
city.
is my very first outside of
There
SIF.
you go.
Yeah,
Huge.
which I've
There you go.
volunteered for a
Huge.
couple times. But yeah, there's one in
Huge.
particular
Huge.
that's called Buddy. It's like this
Okay.
horror movie where like Krista Milioti, Keegan-Michael Key, Michael Shannon, Topher Grace.
That's
What
a
a cast.
crazy cast.
Michael
That's a
Shannon
crazy
was
cast.
left field.
Yeah,
I love
and so
that.
it's like they have to like escape like a demented version of like a kid's show, I think is what it is.
Whoa.
And I was like,
love
that's an
that.
interesting like concept with like those actors. I'm like, I don't know what's going on there, when that's gonna come out.
This
so that's
is like FNAF, but like what
it feels like a better FNAF maybe.
Yeah.
Could be,
A24
yeah.
FNAF.
Whoa.
Could be.
Hey.
FNAF movie of the year.
2 out of 5. JJ Gara on Letterboxd. Check him out.
Yeah.
It's
What else?
exciting.
There's also a movie called I think it's Z by Koganada.
Oh,
Koganada.
awesome.
He
Yeah.
did like After Yang and Big Bold Beautiful Journey. But he's got Haley Lou Richardson back in one of his movies.
Let's go.
It's kind of a good luck charm. She's been in a couple of them, including Columbus, which is one of my former boss's favorite movies because he's from Ohio. And that's what that
Nice.
movie's about.
Shout out LeBron.
Yeah, shout out LeBron.
Shout out
It's not. It's not.
It's not
called,
about LeBron.
It's not called Akron though.
True.
Yeah.
Columbus.
Yeah.
Shout out Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah,
They don't mess with Akron like that.
yeah.
Mm.
And so, but so there's gonna be a lot of like interesting things happening there. Hopefully, I see a few celebrities. I hope that I see Letterboxd there. That's what I'm looking for.
Ooh.
Like if I get on the Letterboxd Instagram,
It's time.
Let's go.
that's what I want.
It's time to lock
Try to
in.
sneak into the Criterion closet, maybe.
If they
they're
got
there.
a Criterion mobile closet, I'm jumping in there. I'm
over under. What's the Kalshi bet on over under that the Criterion closet will be at Sundance?
I
Jeez,
feel
I
like there's
don't
a pretty good chance.
40%?
Well, there's
60?
a really good chance that Letterboxd is going to be.
Oh,
there.
I think Letterboxd
Easily,
is going to be
easily.
there. I think the Big
That's
Picture, the
content time.
Ringer. The
Oh,
Ringer's
they
going to
might
be
be
there.
there, yeah.
They're already because I saw that they were logging movies.
Oh, so they're going to be there.
So
Yeah,
I think
that's
Sean
great.
Fennessy is probably going to be there at the thing.
But
Hopefully.
speaking
Yeah.
of, I mean, I'm going to reference some Sean Fennessy in this episode today, which I think is so funny. He had a
So,
good
I'm
interview with
just
Park
like-
Chan-wook, but go ahead.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, I'm just hoping to see people. Hopefully, I can get some B-roll if I can actually
you're
like
like, please.
think about like
Excited for
getting
you,
my
dude.
phone out. Like,
Oh, yeah.
So it's gonna
It's
be
weird. This
It's
is
gonna be
gonna
wild.
come. Is this gonna come with you? You're gonna bring down the tripod?
the tripod?
Might have to.
I don't
Might
have enough
have
space
to.
for it. We might have to stuff. But I got a little kickstand on my phone. That's probably gonna have to be the best.
I'm so
try
excited.
to mount it to a table.
Love that.
Yeah, that's it. That's,
Man, maybe you got to get that press badge.
Press back. Hey,
Yeah.
Sundance. This is the episode before all of that'll come out. So like, hey,
Yeah.
please
Yeah.
please plug the
That'd
boy.
be nice.
I'm excited for you, dude. I'm
Yeah.
Very
excited to
excited.
hear about all the movies. We are excited.
We're
We
so
we are
excited.
so excited. We are so jealous. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
But,
the capital J.
yeah, excited to see what your highlights. I think when you're back, you definitely got to do like top 3.
Let's get top three.
Top 3.
We'll get
bottom,
top 3 when you're
top
back.
3, bottom 3.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's just like there's so many movies that are already sold out, and there's like a limited amount of time and limited amount of tickets. So
Yeah.
But what we do see, what we are going to see, I'm excited about, and hopefully like all the other events like that we're able to get into. I think there's like ones about like editing. There's ones about writing. There's one where the screenwriters of Train Dreams and Sing Sing, they did both of those.
Cool.
They're going to be
That's
there.
awesome.
There's like an editing, like 1.5 hour editing panel.
Can you go into those?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to that one. Definitely going to those. Chloe Zhao is going to be there. She just won the Golden Globe for Hamnet. That's probably going to be very busy, so hopefully we get there early enough to where we can get in there.
Yeah, press.
That would be nice.
I have road
coming
mics
through.
on
Press.
That would be nice.
Bring-
Yeah,
bring
just
the
put this in,
stickers,
People
bring-
just like act like you own the place.
Act like you belong.
Seriously.
I am sending you with this stick, so you will be.
Oh,
you will
nice. I'm
have
getting the stick. Cool.
hosting stick.
Nice.
Oh man, I am very excited to see what y'all talk about down there because at that point we'll just be fans. We're just gonna be fans
Yeah,
of
that's
your
true.
work.
You're gonna have to figure that one. Yeah.
Man. But plenty to talk about when you get to Sundance. We're gonna hear thoughts about that afterwards. But today I'm excited. I think we're all super excited to chat about one of our favorite movies. It's technically a 2025 film, a 2025 release, I think, right? In Dev. Let's see what I got down here. Venice International Film Festival, speaking of, is where it premiered. Categorized as a comedic thriller. Today we're talking about
Perfect way to describe
perfect
it,
way to
actually.
describe it, because today we are talking about Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice.
면접 잘 봤어?
And yeah, I mean, I want to dive in and ask. Maybe I'll start with Jared then, because I know you were probably the most excited out of us coming out of the movie theater. I think we all feel very similarly about this film. Saw it in a good packed theater, Pacific Place, like about a week ago. So you've had some time to sit with it. This is a heavy, super packed movie. Like you said before, it's a good way to maybe start it off, like how we categorize it. This is a comedic thriller from the director of Oldboy, The Handmaiden, many heavy hitters in the international film scene, and putting on for Korea as a whole. So I'm gonna throw it over to you, Jared. how did he put on for Korea with No Other Choice?
Man, I love this movie. I'm a big fan of Park Chan-wook and everything that he's ever done. Oldboy is one of my favorite movies. The Handmaiden was an insane, I watched that movie at a really insane time in my life, and it was still insane to this day.
It hasn't gotten less insane.
I mean, it hasn't gotten less insane. He is just such a saucy filmmaker, I would say.
Hey, it's in the notes.
And-
Let's talk about the sauce.
He is such a saucy filmmaker. He is not afraid to take risks. He knows you can tell that he has a very clear vision of what he likes. And I think that's very apparent in this movie. It was just so saucy. I had a big smile on my face. Like they said, I was the most excited about this coming out of the theater. I loved it. That's like my biggest thing. I just love this movie. I just thought it was just so fun. The way that the story is insane and it's a lot of fun, and it was executed hilariously. Performances are great. And then also just the camera, the way that the camera moves. Shout out to the cinematographer. I don't have it on hand.
Hey, we have to look it up. I mean, we talked about it. He shoots on digital, and he uses digital to the furthest extent of anyone making movies right now at his level.
I think it was Karsten who said Karsten Runquist.
Our boy Karsten.
Our boy Karsten.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know him personally.
Hey,
No,
see him
I
at Sundance. We'll see Karsten at Sundance, maybe. Come on.
But it was he's pushing the boundaries of digital filmmaking, and I completely agree. I mean, there are some crazy transitions in this movie.
Crazy.
And then just the way that digital effects are used in a very subtle way. There's fade ins, fade outs, mini people.
Yeah,
There's weird match cuts, jump cuts, and everything, and it's feels so dynamic, like a dynamic movie. And on top of that being a pretty nuanced take on capitalism, as Park Chan-wook is familiar with capitalism, union system, the patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
Yes,
Let's talk about it.
But yeah, I mean, I loved it. It was one of my favorite movies of this year. I don't know, it was January, but man, it Yeah, I mean,
Started
so
off the
fun.
year hot, at least for us.
Starting off the year with a banger, man.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
mean, those. I was thinking the movie, and so one of the biggest compliments I can make, like when I walk in or when I got out of the film, I'm like, man, those are the type of movies that I would want to make. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like if I was a filmmaker, like that's the kind of thing with just blending the comedy, blending the seriousness,
Yeah.
everything.
Man, I mean, I should ask as another a person might come into frame. No, we're not going to ask XD what he thinks about this movie, but I am going to ask XD's roommate Chris what he thought about.
Who's that?
Who is that?
No, yeah.
No. What did you think about No Other Choice, especially coming out of it? Again, we're all super high on this movie, and I think there is about 45 minutes of straight talk that we had in the Pacific Place rotunda because it was just too much to break down. So, I mean, yeah, we're in the non-spoiler section. What did you think about No Other Choice?
I mean, what really stands out to me is that it was a much funnier movie. You were talking about the comedy, but it was a much funnier movie
That's hilarious.
than I was expecting. Like even just like, the whole like basic premise of the movie is that, he doesn't have a job and he's trying to like, he just lost his job and he's trying to like dispatch of the people that are like competing with him. And just like, no spoilers, but like the ways that happens is very just like, you're like, what? Like that's the way that went.
Yeah,
Like
seriously.
that's the way he went about that. I just thought all the situations and like the setups were great. And yeah, it's kind of like an inverse Parasite to me. Like I was getting heavy Parasite vibes. It feels like something where if the only like Korean movie you've seen is Parasite, you could watch this movie and be like, you could follow it and you'd be like fine with it because it is a little bit like, it's like kind of comfortable in that way of like how it's made. It feels like another like entry into like Korean movies if that's kind of if you're interested in it.
Yeah.
It's not as intense as like we've seen Oldboy. That's crazy.
That's crazy. It's
That's a
not even
crazy
the
one.
same. It's like
Yeah.
there's nothing. I haven't seen his other films either, but I mean, to compare to Oldboy, they're not this. They're not even in the same stratosphere. They're completely different films.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sauce is there though.
Yeah.
Sauce
That's the
is
thing.
there.
Like you're saying, like the transitions, there's we'll get into some of them certainly when we get into spoilers, but yeah, they're crazy. Like I was
Crazy.
looking at them like, you know what? Maybe I could use one day. I don't know when, but I
Right?
can do it. Yeah.
No, seriously.
Seems
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Man, I shout out Woo Young Kim, cinematographer.
Yes.
For No Other Choice. I mean, we got other people to shout out in this as well. Like I know we're gonna get into it after this little break section as well. But music is so fun, so intense throughout the entire movie. A lot of acoustic, and obviously the cello plays. Or is it? It's a cello. It's a cello. It's not a bass. It's a cello.
Cello, you got a bass.
Cello.
School of Rock fans. Thank
So we're gonna have to talk about School of Rock right now.
We just doubled up twice right there. Yeah.
Talk about a top 4 letterbox movie, man. Right there. That is.
Yeah, both of us.
Right. That's right.
Sadly, Joe Young-wook did not make the music for School of Rock, but I'm sure a Korean version of School of Rock would go insane. Hey, Park Chan-wook, School of Rock remake.
Yeah, who'd you cast as Jack Black? Or would just get Jack Black
I think we just get
and just
Jack
learn
Black.
and just
Honestly,
he just learns Korean.
He should learn
Yeah.
Korean, and then we'll have a supporting cast of like some of the
Yeah.
best. We'll get some people from like Train to Busan. We'll get some people from No Other Choice.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, there's some crossover in this too. I mean, the lead, Lee Byung-hun. Lee Byung-hun. I am so sorry. As Yu Man-soo. I'm so sorry.
Oh goodness.
Yu Man-soo. Also Gui Ma in K-pop Demon Hunters, which is pretty crazy.
That's
But
crazy.
no, there is some Korean cinema royalty in this movie. Just going through some of like previous films that some of the actors in the film have been in, and some of them have been in some of Park Chan-wook's earlier work. And some new actors. I mean, especially the kid actors, the children actors in this movie
yeah,
are
they're
also
great.
pretty good, man. There is, aside from I think some pacing in the film that may not work for everyone, everything from the music to the casting to the cinematography and of course the screenplay and how the story kind of unfolds for you to understand what a man who's just been let go from 25 years at a paper company really feels like. Tell me what unemployment really feels like. Is this movie? And there's a lot of fun Letterboxd comments about that as well. But no, I'd have to echo all of your similar thoughts for both of you. I mean, it's one of the best films I've seen in the last few months, and it's a banger way to start 2026. I mean, what else can we say without spoiling certain things? So I think we should just throw it to the other side of the break, unless...
No, yeah. I mean, I was just gonna say, Park Chan-wook. That man is born to make movies. And I think
whoever made Park Chan-wook,
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Such a good movie.
Appreciate you. Man, he's got the sauce for sure. And we're going to talk about that shortly after this break. And we're back to talk about full spoilers ahead for No Other Choice. Park Chan-wook's movie of the year that we are really excited for. It's his movie of the year.
His movie of the year.
Man, I can't even speak right now. I can't even speak. But submitted by Korea as Korea's official entry into the international film category for the Oscars this year, the Academy Award. It's a stacked category this year.
That is a stacked category.
There's like 3
year,
films
sure.
in that category that will be put into
Secret Agent.
Yeah, Secret Agent, Sentimental Value. Also, we're gonna see Kohoku.
Yes.
Yeah, that is Japan's.
Really?
Submission for the Academy Award this year for Best International Feature. So to put No Other Choice in there is another absolute banger from the
Strong
international
contender,
scene.
I gotta say.
I mean, strong contender for Academy Award, like for Best Picture. This movie is so fun and has so many different layers to it. It's like the best lasagna I've ever had. It's saucy. It's got 15 layers to it, man. It's crispy on the outside, man. And when you take a bite of it, you feel like you're transported back like Ego. In Ratatouille to some of the best filmmaking you've ever seen. I mean, you go off because again, you were head over heels for especially the way this movie looked. Let's just get talking about that sauce.
No, seriously.
The binding sauce of this film.
Not even okay. Cinematography was great, but yeah, I think it was the tone of the movie too, which added to it, and I think it balances that tone so well of like you said that comedic thriller element to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
a funny
serious
movie.
when it needs to get
very
serious.
Funny movie.
Yeah, but it's hilarious. Like it's so funny, and I think that's reflected in the filmmaking where it's really like energetic, and when it's serious, it's serious. The camera holds. You know what I mean? That really interesting sequence with where his son goes into the greenhouse and then he sees a small version of himself in the bonsai tree.
Crazy.
You're like, yo,
and
what is that?
It's hitting all your senses at the very end of the film like that too. Like
very eerie. You know what I mean? And so it balances those so well, but I think it works. Like it works so well where, in those more comedic moments or in those moments where it's trying to push the story along, like those transitions and everything support the story like really well.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I didn't have so much of a problem with the pacing, because it's balanced out. Those moments I felt were more balanced out really well, not only just with the script, but also in the camera work and the editing, I guess, is the better way to describe it.
Very well edited movie.
Very well edited.
I mean, something that I know Chris and I we talked about agreeing on pretty much straight out of the movie is like, obviously we loved it, but there were moments I think towards the middle of the film that maybe felt like they were dragging a little bit. Maybe that's where the pacing issue can come in for some people, and I felt it creeping in for myself. And even like all the mentions of the film's title, right? Like No Other Choice. It gets mentioned pretty early. Like it's pretty crucial to the plot. They don't shy away from it. But by the end of this film, it like all comes together like just like fine. It's like it's glued together in such a way that I don't really have any of those criticisms past like, again, maybe a couple instances in a nearly 2.5 hour film, which is like, look, maybe it holds it back from being a perfect movie, but we're talking about what we're talking about, which is one of the films of the year so far for us.
I mean, like,
you know what I mean?
The pacing was interesting because I don't know about y'all, but I had no idea where this movie was going.
Well, that is part of it as well. That is
what's
part
going
of it as well.
on? Like I think the premise itself, it's like pretty. It's a lot of fun and it's simple. At first, you're like, okay, he loses his job.
It's as simple as
he's
it can
gonna
get.
Kill people. Boom.
But how they get there is so up in the air. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's what you were saying coming out of it was like the way they got to the point was just some of the most entertaining shit you've seen.
The execution is just it goes completely left field.
Yeah. What I will say is I think there's a lot more like empathy than you would think about.
Totally.
Because that's the thing, like he kills like 3 people in this movie, right? So I don't think we've explained too much of the plot yet, but just a little like synopsis primer. Like this guy works for a paper company for like 25 years, gets laid off, and basically sees like an opening at a new paper company, and he's basically gets so desperate that he wants to try to kill all the other people that are up for this job. So he like studies their resumes. He like at a certain point like he takes some of their lines.
Great montage, by the way.
Yeah,
where he's like pitching the fake company to like try to get the resumes.
Well, even before that, it was huge misdirect with like the poster and like one of the early parts of the film where you're like, oh, he's going to catch his first body by gathering up that huge rose bush or the rose tree coming out of that the vase that's on a lot of the movie posters. And like this old lady's like, I mean, what are you doing? I can't do it. But then that's where he starts, concocting the idea to get all these people in his competition thoroughly in line with like him. And then shout out Pulp for Men daily or monthly.
What is pulp? What is a pulp? Is that just what you call somebody?
No, pulp is the pulp is associated with like paper making. That's about all I can tell you. That's about what I learned from watching The Office growing up. Is that pulp is involved. Pulp is definitely a part of the paper making process. I'd say it's got something to do with like when the tree becomes paper through the process of water. That was not science.
Yeah, and I thought it was just hilarious. I mean, Chris, I don't know if you were going to continue with that thought.
Go ahead.
First of all, but I think it was just hilarious when he's, making those plans and that first execution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what we were saying, it just kind of goes not where you think it's going to go. Like it's thought it's going to be simple, like, oh, this is it. But he ends up not even killing the first person, which is so funny.
We come back to that later.
Very unexpected.
We come back to him later.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that was a really funny misdirection and also one of the best scenes in the movie. I think it's my favorite scene.
We might as well just talk about that scene, honestly. Like, that first kill. So it's like, first of all, he's trying to set it up. Like he scouts the house or whatever.
Yeah.
And he gets spooked because he thinks people are seeing him. But then he sees like, there's this one old dude, but then you see coming out of this house, there's like a young guy and you don't know what that's for. Mm-hmm. And then later on, you find out like the dude is like having sex with the dude's wife or whatever.
Crazy.
And then you start to see like, you see the two of them talking and he's like sneaking around.
Yeah.
And like this first guy he's hunting, he's got like relationship, or like you can tell like him and his wife are like not on the same page. Like they've like fallen out of love with each other. And like the fact that he's unemployed now is like also getting him down. So
also great flashback.
Yeah, it's a great and they flash back. It's kind of like it becomes like their movie for a little bit, which is kind of funny. Yeah. It's like,
super over dramatic.
Yeah, like the flashback, and they're like,
we're like Mansu. We're just like in the background watching like through the forest, just seeing how it's all playing out.
Exactly. He's like the proxy for just the audience. He basically becomes the audience for a little bit as these two people like talk about how they've fallen in and out of love with each other, basically. And this paper job, this fake paper job that our main character sort of drawn up is the first like chance at like hope for him. So they kind of think about that. And so, but then just kind of like hilarity ensues.
Yeah.
He later comes back and he's like, the dude's drunk in his house on the couch.
In his listening room.
In his listening room. Yeah. He's got the vinyl up there.
Yeah.
And then he's got our main character. He's got oven mitts.
He's got great taste though.
Yeah.
That was a banger. A Korean banger.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna have to look up the name of that song.
But I just love that scene. Like that's what really sold me and got me on board with the movie, where the music is turned up all the way and they're just yelling at each other. They got the subtitles.
And he's got like 15 oven mitts on and 4 like why does he have so many? He's got so many like wrappings underneath the oven mitts even. Like this is so obviously a white collar dude who does not know how to do crime, let alone like the highest level of crime that you can like do.
And it just becomes like almost a slapstick kind of struggle for the gun type of thing, and it just is hilarious, and they're all fighting for it, and then eventually the wife kills the dude,
which is crazy,
and she buries the body.
So he low-key gets away.
What's going on? And you think like at this point in the movie, I'm thinking, okay, so is this just going to be like he unintentionally kills everybody?
No, it's a great misdirect
for him.
Yeah, it's such
great
a good misdirect.
I mean, we find out later that that's not the case, but I just thought that was so funny, and I'm like, that's when I like really was fully on board with the movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because the first kill is just the beginning of kind of a trio, like we've insinuated, and like if you've seen the film, you know about how each person dies. Just top 3 competition, and they're all 3 people in very different parts of their lives, but they're all kind of like, he could probably look as the man who's like, I've got to get this plan out here to really save my own family. We got to get the family house back. We lost the dogs. Like I can't be in the greenhouse as much as I want to be. And you, my wife, have to have a job now. And that's the other thing I got to say before we move on from the first kill. There's a lot of like real fun. You put a line in between the two of them and like it's like a mirror, right? He is like taking on the pain and like of this guy that's having his issues with his relationship because now his wife's working at a dentist office with like a young, like hot, Korean dentist who's like trying to be like fatherly, almost weirdly, in the way that the other guy is successfully doing to his wife.
Yeah, and
he's taking on all of like all these societal expectations on top of being unemployed. When he has like a beautiful wife who is super supportive of him and has never given him a reason to think otherwise, when in that situation, he's trying to just like
he just
see
starts
his life through him.
Well, yeah, I think he also just he gets like paranoid too because he thinks he's like more worthless now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't have a job. Like a lot of his self-worth in this movie comes through. He worked for this long time at the paper company, and now he's like, I have to get this back because I need to restore like my sort of sense of self-worth.
Like the reoccurring thought of that many of the men in this movie have that have been fired by this paper company is that paper gave me everything. Like the industry gave me all of this, so I must maybe not like necessarily give it back to paper, but I have to return to it because that's what's given me sustenance over these years, which is like the commentary of the film, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, like the even in that first scenario, like his wife asks him like, "Why won't you just do something else?" And they're like,
the cafe, the record cafe sounds pretty sick.
Like I owe it to this. Like paper has given me everything, and I'm like, yeah, and I just love that he starts projecting and seeing himself in the people that he's killing, basically, and and I think we talked about this coming out of the theater. Like this is kind of ties into one of the themes of the movie, or maybe the metaphors is like the union, wholly union capitalism type of thing going on.
There was no union, and Americans
and like,
had no other choice. They just had to let him go.
Exactly, and like the idea of you're fighting against like your peers and everything, and having to combat them when in reality, like you guys are pretty much like in the same scenario or things like that. Like, I mean, obviously a lot more nuance than that, but I just thought it was so interesting that every time he went to go murder somebody, he was also like relating to them very highly. And they would all talk about, oh, you know, I miss the work. I miss hanging out with people and drinking. I miss the like doing all of that stuff. And then ultimately, like he's kind of getting rid of them, like getting rid of his coworkers, and then we see at the end,
solidarity
like,
just going right through the window.
Boys. Yeah, seriously, and it's like super interesting because he's literally personifying these people that he's killing, and he's like, yeah, wait, I'm going through that too, and like it's almost it's like silly because he's obviously he could maybe band together with these people, be in the support group with these people or something, or find some commonality in that. But he's just like, nah, you're in my way.
And also one of the technically the third one, he kind of tries to.
Yeah, no,
because
totally.
He's like, okay,
he does. I mean, he's
like,
I
need a partner.
He's like, I need a partner for the job or whatever.
Like, well, nope. Sorry, I gotta kill you. Like he kind of just decides.
Well, he didn't even like consider it an option. Again, no other choice. Like I have to kill you.
True.
I can't even like consider
I don't think he did,
brotherhood in this situation. I mean, yeah, it's literally what first guy has issues with his wife. Second guy is just a loving family man, like who's just fallen on hard times, trying to make ends meet, giving his daughters some cash. The third guy is like a serial like alcoholic who has now lost touch with his own wife too.
Mm-hmm. And you can empathize with all those
three
things
of them.
Like,
oh my God.
Well, and that's kind of like, you know, in terms of like, you're talking about like screenwriting books. Like, I don't know anything about writing a screenplay, but I've read books about it. And that's one thing they sort of talk about is always like each supporting character has to like say something about your main character. It has to like reveal reveal something about your protagonist that like he would not have done. He can't do on his own. He needs other people to like bounce off of and kind of like reflect things back. And this is like the most like explicit, you know, version of that, where like you literally see he has so much in common with all these three men, and he just like he develops like a sense of empathy for them, but at the same time he's like, that's my competition. Even though they're like me, they can't survive because I must have their job. Like they can't have this chance.
Well, even that in essence is comedy. Just like the surreal nature of like empathizing with your victim. That you're the one doing the killing, brother. Like you're the one that's at the end of the day got to grow his mustache back, get all of his like biggest spoiler, get all of everything you lost back, but then you return to a house of nothing. a house of robots, AI,
Yeah,
but paper, I guess.
none of the
same
things that he
time.
wanted from the original paper industry, like his goals, it just ended up like it's a kind of like a sick tragedy.
The comedic tragedy of
it's
it.
like
yeah.
he wins, but does he really? Like, you know what I mean? With he sacrificed everything literally to, well, I guess maybe he didn't because he has everything, but he sacrificed a lot or a part of himself to get to this point, and then ultimately, like, it's kind of left up unclear, like, is he even safe in that job? It was kind of poured as like a temporary thing, and then everything is automated AI. He's not even working with anybody anymore. And
no, when he does
sad.
his little dance, you're just like, oh, the start of this movie had at least 400 people in this 400 mouths that are fed through the money that they earned from this paper job, and now there's just one.
And the corporations doesn't care about it.
Well, the interesting thing about the beginning was they were talking about like, oh, in America, you get the axe, and then it was like, in Korea, it's off with your head. I just did a quick little bit of Wikipedia research, and no other choice is an adaptation of a book called The Axe.
Oh, love
and
that.
it's an American
Let's
book.
go.
It's from I think it's from the 90s. Let me see. It's from like,
and that's what the screenplay was based off of.
1997 horror thriller novel about, and it's about a guy who was laid off at a paper company, and he kills 7 people who he's in competition for.
Park
Chan-wook
knows
but
ball.
like, what an adaptation for the modern day, because it's still so relevant.
That's
like,
the thing, is that
it's more
like,
relevant than ever right now.
That spin is like, oh yeah, like he's killing all these people, but again, like robots are taking over. I'm sure that's not something that's like a very modern addition to that story, which is so interesting. So, but it's interesting. It's like, it's an explanation of like the themes in the movie, but it's also just like a callback to where the material is from,
right?
Which is very interesting.
And it's always been, I mean, like that. I mean, not exactly subtle, but it's just such still a compelling commentary on like the state of capitalism and how they treat their workers and workers' rights and everything. Like we were saying, the whole union
that has not changed very much in 30
pitting
years.
them against each other to make them feel like they have no other choice but to eliminate their competition, or like maybe we should be in solidarity with each other, but I have to look out for myself.
And that's the thing, is that no actual person is the one like pitting them up against each other. The system is set up in a way to where he feels like he has to, their competition, he needs to take them out, sort of thing. Like, no, there's no worker that explicitly, even like the people that he interviews at the table, you know, they're not saying any of this stuff.
And the corporations have all the power in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, even he has to create a fake corporation to get even some semblance of power in the situation over these people.
There's something super sad about watching Mansu watch one of his first victim be so excited, or especially us as like the audience in those more private moments, be so excited that he even got like a call back, like one option for an interview, and he's out here on the verge of discovery like that. And that's like one of the craziest parts of the whole movie to me, is when he's like starting to recognize that, like, oh my God, he's going to go see that his wife is cheating on him. Like, I need to stand with him as a dude who also is kind of willing, like, who knows where
he's like
stands. He's
like,
empathizing in real time.
You're like, oh,
but he's also not picking up the phone call, and this dude is like crashing out. He's like, oh yeah, no, I was told the service is really good, like right here. And he's echoing things that he hears in the movie from like previous people he's with. He's like, well, if you can be here, if you do not want the job.
No,
kind
seriously,
of thing. So throughout the entire
he's
film,
using the same tactic.
He's just a mirror for everyone else's pain and trauma in this. So that's what sets up one of the best, if not the best, scene of the movie for all of us. But no, I just think something like that shows you how sick this can end up becoming for so many people when you feel the pain of someone like that. Because you could easily have been that person who didn't decide to kill, just is like kind of in a depressive state, and then you find out your wife cheated on you. Like, what would you do? He crashed out, rightfully so, was rolling all up on the concrete.
Right. Valid crash outs in this movie, that's for sure.
Valid crash outs across the board. Would you count the triple homicide valid crash out?
Valid.
That's a trepidatious valid. No, I think it echoes a lot too. That first, if I were to compare it to the Hunger Games, the very first scene where all of the unemployed men are in the middle and they're just like kind of tapping their lymph nodes and they're trying to like feed these messages in, like, you are enough, right? Something like that.
It's like it's kind of like a support group mental
seriously
thing, like power of me,
power we. No, but it's they don't shy away from the message in this movie. I mean, that's probably the other thing, is that the messaging of the movie is very in your face,
Yeah,
but not at all annoying, and not at all something that's like hard to watch over 2.5 hours. It feels
but done
like
in
that.
a way that's just like so fun, where you really kind of like you buy into the message of the movie, I think, pretty well.
Pretty easily too. It's like accessible, like you're saying, like it's like a Parasite in the way that it's probably accessible to many audiences.
Yeah.
In some ways, that some of these economic pieces, or people that have commentary on economics of like our current state of the world, don't want to dive into, or like may not feel like that's their space to think about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think like to the point of the Parasite thing, and I know you made the Parasite connection too. I think it like comes at it at like of an angle that is still like fresh, whereas I feel like this is more directly kind of talking about the relationship between the business and the worker, and then Parasite was very much like class struggle.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So, but like I said, I feel like they're kind of sister movies in a way of kind of giving commentary on the, I guess, Korean society, and as an insight, and especially like without the context of being, Korean and living in Korea, like it is interesting also making those connections to America as well. I mean, it was based off of an American book, which is interesting.
There is an American in this
movie. I feel
movie.
like it is a very Korean movie in that way, like in reflecting on how these social dynamics are.
I mean, another little bit of something to learn from the Sean Fennessy interview with Park Chan-wook is that he couldn't get this movie made in America. He wanted to get it. He wanted to adapt this screenplay with American actors in the American audience. Yeah.
Sure.
So he went back home and made a banger with great actors across the board in its own right.
We did talk about the stuff that's kind of in your face, and that like the whole worker corporation relationship, but I kind of wanted to talk to y'all about I wanted to ask y'all about the themes with this family.
It's big time.
That's what I was thinking about too. Yeah,
because I feel like that's the one. Even
that's like half the movie.
It's half the movie,
Yeah.
right? Because that's kind of who he's doing it for, and then there's a lot of like interesting effects that he has on his family with his actions, and especially with the relationship with his wife and his his wife, especially
son
and his son
Ye-Jin, or literally son Ye-Jin as Miri playing the mother. So
and after
shout out
sitting
her.
at exactly, but sitting on it after a while, like I'm still kind of baking on like what those themes are, and I wanted to ask y'all like what your thoughts were.
Traumatized son, neurodivergent daughter. The daughter, right, is their child, and the son is a child from the mother's previous marriage, I believe, right?
Right.
And then you find out along the way many things about their kids, and also C1, Re1, C2, Re2.
Love that.
Love the
that's
dogs
crazy.
In this movie.
That's like
talk about that for a second. The golden retrievers. No, but you see throughout the film that obviously the daughter has certain way of speaking, and it is a genius level prodigy. And they can't afford to like keep her. You have to play a $50,000 cello. I mean, I know we were talking about this, Chris. Like just the commentary, even on not even being able to afford what you need to make sure your daughter could get the best opportunity at what she's good at moving forward. And on the flip side of the coin, the son who's involved in some malicious activities, which is kind of telling for what his dad's up to. His stepdad also beats him when he was in a drunken rage 10 years prior, 9 years prior.
Crazy reveal, by the way. They kind of just threw that in.
It's a part of the issues. But no, yeah, family dynamics in this movie are incredibly important. Do you want to start by talking about the mom? What do we got to say about the mom?
I'm going to talk about the grandpa first a little bit.
Let's go back one generation. Let's go back.
That's kind of like where it starts. Huh?
Yeah, because you get a lot of allusions to like the Monsu, that's the main character's name.
Yeah.
Monsu's father, like how he fought in Vietnam. They have his North Korean gun, which like comes into play
Crazy
later.
Insane.
And just kind of believes, in like survival at all costs type of thing. And he talked about like that he was like a pig farmer. And there was time where like all the pigs got sick or something, and he had to bury
20,000 pigs,
bury all the pigs or something like that. Like,
bury them alive.
Yeah, buried them alive, and so like that just kind of gives you a little glimpse, like, you know, this is happening while all this other stuff is happening, where you see him, like, you know, he's in the middle of carrying out his plot, and he just learned about his father, like, and how just like weird of a guy he was in terms of, like, you know, he went to war, obviously, like that's gonna like F you up, and then how you handle things like afterward, and like how you handle like tough situations, like, yeah, let's just bury all these pigs alive type of thing. So you can see a little bit just from that description, like where he gets some of his tendencies. Because then he also likes to bury things alive, as you see later.
It's in the DNA at that point.
It's in his front yard. Crazy.
It's in the DNA.
Crazy
I mean,
work.
it was obviously he was an alcoholic, and that's when, like, at the time when he like beat his son. So like he promised his wife that he would stay sober, and then that's like a thing, you know, eventually that comes back to haunt him as well. Like that's the third kill is where basically all of his bad tendencies like come back to back. He drinks and he buries the dude alive,
and he finally takes that tooth out, which I was kind of wondering like what that was like really representing, but I feel like that's kind of symbolizing him, well, at least the way that I've kind of read it, and I think it could be read in multiple ways, but of his kind of commitment, like finally, like
when he gnaws the tooth out on his own,
take this out, and like I'm gonna
there's like a bad feeling gnawing at him.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm gonna root out the.
It's like his guilt.
Yeah,
and he's finally like, I'm just gonna take the root out and just go send it.
Roy
he
is avoiding the root canal to the nth degree because he really
knows the dentist.
Yeah,
I mean, another kind of connection of like, there's the solution right here.
I have to do it,
but I have to do it.
I didn't think about that
on my own.
You know, I did not think about that at all. The fact that the one dude is a dentist, but he's so caught up in the example of infidelity that he saw earlier that he's only thinking about the infidelity that his wife might be committing on him, which is not happening, instead of the fact that he is actually a dentist and could assist him with this problem. I did not think about that.
Immediately, probably for no cost.
I definitely, like he feels like he has no other choice. That's like, there's kind of that double meaning, like of like there's no other choice from the corporation side, and then he feels like he has no other choice, but it's almost like he feels that way, but there's definitely
there are other choices.
Yeah,
there are
always other choices.
There's other choices that are suggested to him or like hiding in plain sight.
You didn't have to remove that tooth by yourself. You didn't have to bury this guy alive.
But maybe that's the effectiveness of like putting us in that dude's point of view, because I didn't think about that at all. I'm thinking about what he's thinking about, is that like he's obviously caught up in like he's thinking that he's cheating on his wife with this dentist.
And we think that, you know, when she's dancing with him, we're going there and we're like, no.
Well, and then they have like the colonial outfit and the Indian.
You get suspicious of them.
That was crazy.
They do such a good job of like getting you in his mindset of like
you're looking for the issues rather than any solution here.
And then also too, it's like, oh, like I set this up so that like I'm Pocahontas and you're John Smith. That's why you're dressed up in this uniform. He obviously did not. That is one piece of information that we could not get at all from anything that happened. But like, when you hear that, you're like, oh yeah, he just wasn't paying attention. He's not paying attention at all to anything that actually matters.
He's not paying attention to his daughter, which I think is like, you know, that's like ultimately what I was thinking about too, is that like they at the end when she finally plays, like nobody was really
just like a concerto for them.
Yeah,
it's the first time she never plays for any of them.
And I'm like, you start to think like maybe she did, but like they just weren't paying attention type of thing or whatever, you know, who knows. But circling back to his effects on the son too,
I mean, if like, you saw your dad bonsai treeing a man, that cadaver, that scene where he's like wrapping that man fully dead into a sandwich is like the most jarring scene in the movie for me.
Well, and then the son is also kind of mirroring one from like the grandpa, and then also the dad of like he feels like he has no other choice too. He has to go make some money for his mom and to steal
some
phones. And then that's like reinforced by the dad, where he's like at the police station being like, don't worry, son, like you have to do this, like we have to fight. Well, I don't remember.
It's like exactly we have to fight to protect our women or something like that.
Something like that.
The patriarchy comes back again.
It's us versus them, like you have to win, and you're like,
in the analogy,
like,
and then that's when
what you should be saying to your son right now.
Well, that's when he tells him the story of his non-blood related grandfather about being like, this is what your dad had to do, this is what I'm doing, and eventually like this is what he'll probably replicate at some point in his future. He's already replicating it, sticking around with this dude, one of his homies that's like so easy to like have either be convinced to go smoke some cigs outside and go commit some low-level crime as 18-year-olds. But I mean, yeah, they take that shit pretty seriously. They got taken to the big police station.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's generational trauma across the board.
And you just
in two different versions of it, really.
Yeah, and you just see everybody in his family get, pushed into these corners where they feel like they have no other choice, you know what I mean? And that theme is just hammered home. Like, even I think about the small moments, like like the wife trying to seduce the father, or not seduce, but like she's like
easy work. Well,
puts the sweater
she's in the
on to make
bathroom
her,
trying to get ready for it.
her breast show a little bit more, and you're like, she feels like she needs to do that to kind of like get him out of the situation
because she knows him. She knows how to get underneath this dude's head a little bit.
And you just like seeing them all, how they react to these, more desperate situations is really interesting, and seeing how that like Monsu is like takes it to the full extreme. It's just crazy.
I mean, hey, be careful who you're talking about and where you're talking about it, because there's a couple major parts in the film where both Monsu and his wife like have opportunities to basically pick up on little details that'll help their future crimes or endeavors. In Monsoon's case, obviously the crimes, but it's even in that one scene, she's at the party, kind of pissed, and overhears everything going on with what's his face and his wife. Crazy. Comes back around for a moment like that. Make that money. I mean, you see basically moving down the middle class is what this family is doing and experiencing in real time. Even loses Netflix, another movie with that
was hilarious. That was just
a ta-dum.
Yeah, they even had
you even hear the da-dum.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that was funny,
dude. And then it's even like, sorry, and like that makes me think about the son too. Like, it's kind of implied at the end that maybe perhaps he's going to also return back to the life of crime. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
it seems like that's what's going.
Like he's seen the results of it too.
This is another parallel to Parasite. The family all has their problems. They all sort of connive, in an effort to sort of, well, in this case, just to get back to where they were.
Yeah.
In Parasite's case, they're trying to move up. But there's that scene at the end, obviously, where the son is like, "Oh, I'm gonna like break the cycle of my father," but you don't know if he's gonna do it. That's left very ambiguous. It's the same type of thing here. It's like, the son looks like he might be repeating the cycle of his dad, but you just don't know.
Just, and it's tragic in that way. You know what I mean? Yeah, it really is, because this family has just gone through so much, and then really to end up in just an unsure of a place as they were in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They have everything back. Like they had to do so much to get back to where they were. But that's the thing, is that they could be we could easily see a scenario where like they just go right back down. Yeah.
Well, there's also so many, like, I don't even know how to say it, like, not idiots, but pretty bumbling. Like, this goes to show you, like, you could be unemployed, you could be employed, you could be rich as hell, or just living end to end, like, especially with like a family that you have to support. Everyone from Mansu to his family to the third party characters in their lives that they interact with a lot, to the people that Monsoon kills and the people associated with them, and finally, like, the two detectives who are terrible at their job and are interviewing the murder suspect. And the
you
guy
really
who
think they're gonna get him at one point? I really
like three
like,
different
you're gonna
times.
get your ass
but they're
beat.
like, I'm good, and you're like, nah, y'all are terrible at this. Terrible job. But everyone has a bit of a bumbling nature to them, and it's like kind of probably one of the bigger themes in the movie as well. Is like, it doesn't matter how good you are at this gig, like, you have to like kind of stick with each other on certain things like this, because if you don't, like, you're gonna end up, again, like when the daughter says like the bugs are eating it alive at the very end of the film, people are bumbling and just human. People make mistakes. It's just, are you gonna be the one that gets caught on hard times? Like, we don't see like a miraculous effort from the detectives in this movie that makes you think that they're increasingly good at their job, which I mean, that's how I interpreted it personally. But when they're like in between each of these crimes, even Monsoon is getting better at his crimes. Like, the first crime, he didn't even kill him. The second one just shoots the guy, leaves a bullet, somehow gets away with it. The third crime is like actually masterfully done. Like, he makes sure everything's caught up. He's got him buried alive. He's got all this drinking problem. He picks up his nasty ass tooth. Like, he going through process while on FaceTime with his wife. That is a focused man.
Yeah.
That is a guy that is focused on his goal.
He does get better, and like, I feel like the way that I interpreted the bugs are eating it alive type of situation is more of like that kind of idea of destruction, and his killing his peers, like they're kind of like the system itself is kind of eating itself, you know what I mean? Because it's not treating its workers right, and they're going to eventually consume the system or something like that, you know what I mean? Along those lines of it's not sustainable. I mean, and then they also have the idea of like paper, like that stock footage of the trees getting demolished. It's just like that cycle of destruction. You have to destroy something to make something. Like it's a equivalent exchange almost. Like he has to kill these people to get the job. You know what I mean? You have to destroy the environment to make paper. You know, like we're kind of destroying, you know, our system, our society, our environment. You know what I mean? To make something. You know what I mean? But is it truly worth it? I think that's kind of the question too.
Is it worth it, Chris?
Yeah.
That's why
I
you
don't know,
want
shrug
to
shoulders.
It's
Shrug shoulders.
Existential questions.
Shrug
If you were
shoulders.
if you were in his situation, what would you do? Go on a quadruple homicide spree
Man,
and stay hidden from the cops?
and stay hidden from the. Well, that'd be ideal, wouldn't
That'd be ideal.
it? Yeah.
First of all, the wife too is also a real one. Like,
Oh, she's like, without her, he is nothing. Like, he fails at this, like, without the support of his wife throughout this movie.
Why do y'all think that she ends up supporting him? You know what I mean? Like, and not I mean,
That's a good question.
she's not ratting him out.
No other choice. I mean, I don't know. Like,
I think Chris just said it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like that's probably. You know, ironically, she might be the only one that really has no choice. In this,
Yeah,
in this-
because if
in
she
this
rats him
manner.
out, like, what is she gonna do?
She gonna
type
do, like,
thing? How's she
you
gonna
know?
support the kids?
Yeah, exactly. Like they're just kind of cooked at that point.
Well, even the end, right, where he's trying to get like a 1 minute embrace. Like, she's like so clearly over this guy, but like in a way where it's like, I am kind of with you, not Bonnie and Clyde necessarily, but like I've
That's
made
kinda how I
my
read it too,
choice
yeah.
and I have to be with you. So our time holding hands is not going to be as much as you might think, because I know your true nature. I know you.
Totally.
Totally.
I
know you.
Totally. I felt like you were talking to me there.
Also, too,
Locked
like
eyes.
you know the whole like the daughter, like one of her like weird quirks is that she repeats everything, lots of things that
Yeah,
she
yeah.
hears and all that stuff. And one thing I was thinking about, I think the one thing I remember I was saying in the car before I got out was like the daughter repeats like the words of the father, and like the son repeats the actions of the father, because like the son is like gets more into the drugs. Looks like he's
Snaps.
gonna repeat the cycle.
Mm.
But then the daughter like just echoes the words. So I don't know. It feels like, you know, the cycle repeats in like different ways for both the kids. But the daughter still, and like how good she is at her instrument, at the cello, that's still something I'm trying to figure out, like what the significance of it is.
Especially the
Me
final
too.
page. Like, what was she
the
drawing?
that's true. And also,
preparing,
yeah,
you know,
it looks
the
like
very
he's doing
end.
like, you know, like an alien, like, you know, looking at a
Yes.
cornfield or
It's like
something like
Sixth
that.
Sense level
Well, like
shit.
I
Yeah.
was assuming
Yeah.
that was her way of interpreting the music, and so she's like some sort of prodigy.
Just like sees colors, like, yeah.
But
like
it's like
colors
almost
and
like
dots
Morse
instead of-
code.
But what
It's
does
like,
that represent? You know, like
What does it represent? It's-
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like
Um,
dots instead of sheet music, and it's like she's playing it so well. The dogs are like very
Yeah, the dogs are back.
patiently
Yeah.
watching
Mhm.
it, and like again, that was the whole thing. Like she, you know, the teachers or the parents are like, oh, she never plays in front of us, so we have no idea what she sounds like or whatever.
Mm.
And
It's
then
just
like,
a lot of talk of the prodigy.
the dad's out the house, and then the mom gets to hear a little bit in front of the dogs, like to actually
Yeah.
hear her play for the first time. So again, what does that? What does
Yeah.
that mean? I mean, I think you might have said like, oh yeah, she senses some shit about her dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like also,
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably like the
well, she spends
like,
a lot of the
there's
movie.
surface commentary about like nurturing creativity and
Mhm.
maybe not understanding your neurodivergent kids. But I feel like there's also something that like ties into the actual theme, but I'm not sure.
Well, she
I'm not
spends
sure.
half the movie like crying in the dogs, like in the dog pens, like, and multiple times, like
Yeah.
he walks up and he's trying to like comfort his daughter, and she is like so unreceptive to it. I mean, even at one point, she's like, "What did your mom say about like basically saying like your dad is dead or he's so dead because he skipped out on being on time for their dance," and just echoing those things, even for a neurodivergent child, I'm sure still sticks up here in a similar way to like certain people go off.
I wonder too if she's got like a little bit of stage fright in front of people, because like she's obviously the most broken up about the dogs.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the dogs are the ones that are like patiently like watching her play. So I wonder if that's because like she wants an audience, you know, like you know,
And they were always her
she's so
audience.
nervous about playing in front of the parents. I'm sure like because the dogs are not just gonna sit there and not criticize her, you know, because it's like calm, and you know maybe that's it. I don't know. Who knows? Because obviously the dad's a bit of a maniac. So
Yeah.
I don't know how much, we don't know how much he really like paid attention to.
He probably paid more attention to
shell.
the bonsai tree outside than
Yeah.
even his own kids growing up, honestly.
Yeah, seriously. And that's the thing. He had a bunch of hobbies that he was good at that he could have done.
And then yeah, exactly.
All came back to paper.
Work at the cafe. You could do gardening. Exactly.
Amazing work.
Going back to
on,
the no other choice type of thing. The wife is like, you can do all these other things.
Yeah. You were able to wrap up a body.
I'm sorry.
Crazy.
That's true.
Crazy.
You kind of
It's insane.
You kind of see just how like talented he is at other things
Yeah,
through his
seriously.
crazy plot to get his normal regular
Yeah.
job back.
All of his murders
Seriously.
have an aspect of him that is way too good at a niche project or a niche skill. Like, I mean, even con manning. I mean, he conned these three guys basically walking straight into their graves and their deaths.
Yeah, like that's impressive. Like that's an impressive thing that he is. How does he know
congratulations.
to make a fake
Business.
job
Yeah,
opening?
that's
so
Fake job
crazy.
opening to fake business with his phone number.
Because he knows paper.
Yeah, and he speaks to them and like gets people's hopes up. He's like on the side of he like becomes a scammer. Like he gets good at scamming people, which is so funny.
Man, I feel the worst for the second guy. Man, that dude did not deserve to get like no scoped, like shot across the screen.
The sound design during that part. Also, he was the one that got buried in his front yard. Poor guy.
Oh my god, that's the guy who got bonsai.
Oh wait, no, it was the third guy.
Third guy gets buried.
The third guy gets.
But the
buried
second
in
guy
front
gets bonsai'd, truncated like that.
Yeah.
Just a
Well,
terrible.
that's right. He
scene.
gets wrapped up.
He gets
Yeah,
wrapped.
he
That's
gets-
what we're talking
yeah, that's
about.
right.
One
That's
of the
right.
worst
Yeah.
ways to go out.
And then the
That's right,
third
he
guy.
does get
No, the
buried his
third
front
guy he's in the home. Yeah,
he's
so
in
it
the
is
home.
second
It
guy.
makes it
you
look
are
like
right.
yeah.
You are right.
So this is another thing picked up from one of those
It was just
interviews.
like crack. Oh,
Were you wondering why he was stuffing his throat with pork and shit? It was to simulate choking on his vomit.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. Like,
Yeah,
just
it's
such
not
a
clear
crazy way.
until the
Not
end.
clear. Just straight
That was
pork.
crazy.
I was like,
when
why
all-
did he have to bury him underground for that? But
Makes sense because
Valid.
he would have been freaking out.
yeah.
That was crazy. That when he just gets the meat grinder out, and he's getting
Yeah.
the dude's mouth open. I was like, this is crazy.
I'm like, this guy is too far gone. Like
Yeah.
he took that tooth out and he just.
But that's the
went
thing. It's like
No,
sicko mode.
Re1 was onto something. Her dad was a little cracked, in not a good way.
again, that goes back to the comedy. It's
It's
a
so over the
perfect
top.
balance of like absurd and like just silly, but also just like very sad. And
Yeah.
like the fact
Yeah.
that he's resorted to this, but also that's just a weird thing to
Yeah,
do. And
no,
it's very
it's like
fun- yeah.
if you think about it objectively, it's horrifying, but like it's just portrayed in such a hilarious way.
On purpose. Absolutely on purpose.
Because
Yeah.
imagine being that guy in that moment. You're like, oh my god, I'm being murdered by like a psychopath right now.
And
Like,
he's
it's
also
like-
drunk as fuck. Like
Yeah,
that dude
yeah.
was probably like 20 shots deep. He had him do like that one of the best shots in the movie where he's like taking his first sip of alcohol, like a Jaeger bomb, like first
That was
sip
crazy.
of alcohol in like
Yeah.
10 years, and it's the camera behind the silhouette of it's just like straight up looking through the glass, and when he finishes it just
Bottom of the
clink,
glass.
and then he's full on 10 out of 10 like GTA 6 type, like this is a crazy way to murder someone, and we're gonna show you how he did it. And what's insane is that he doesn't even have to talk about that as like the protagonist of the story. It doesn't have to be written into his script. You just assume that he's been thinking of these ways for the months that he's been committing these crimes.
Another great shot. My favorite shot is the one I think where they have the iPad and they do it like 3 different angles. Like they're showing it to people and it's like the reflection.
Oh, yep. No, I
and
know.
then they switch it back to the other lady. I think it's when they're trying to find the gun.
hmm
Or they find they're
North
trying to
Korean
identify
gun.
the North Korean gun, the detectives, and then they have the reflection on her, and then they put the reflection on
He's
him,
like-
and then they put the reflection on the other detective. I love that one, and there's so many shots like that in the movie. And then they do like the match cut for the.
Oh,
Yeah,
some of the
there's so many
cuts,
funny.
some of the like the fade cuts like towards the end of the film are just beautiful, and it just shows what you can do with like digital. Sometimes it's like really like, oof, this is a man at the peak of his craft. Like he knows how to work this camera lens.
Yeah,
And obviously the cinematographer as well. But I feel like we've talked about every major point of this film. It's a long movie, but we got through a lot of it. Any final thoughts from the boys before we get into final reviews and scores on No Other Choice?
not really. I think like, yeah, the more I think about it, like there's a lot to say, but also it's just such like a experience that I think you just need to have. Like You know what I mean?
Also, I was a big fan of the fact that there were a lot of people in the theater.
That's what I'm
Right?
saying.
I was a big
Sold
fan of that.
out nearly in the back end of the theater. So sick.
Not
Yeah,
expecting that.
Yeah, the main area of the theater, I was like, why do you got to fight for the seat? You know, you were
Yeah.
like, I managed to get these block
Yeah, I got
seats
3 in the
I was
middle.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then we got there, like, luckily, like right as the movie was about to start,
spot
which was
on.
really cool. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of people in here.
And
like,
it was
that
an
very
active
cool.
audience. It was not a silent audience.
Yeah, it was-
Everyone was reacting to the stuff pretty
I'm sure
similarly.
it was just a lot of people like us that were kind of that similar age. I was getting that vibe.
Yeah.
There was like I think I saw like Beau's Afraid a few years ago, and that was the other audience where I thought it was like, it was kind of like an A24 focus group. That's kind of what I felt with here. I was like,
Letterboxd
this
users.
is like a Letterbox A24 focus group right here.
Hell
Watching
yeah.
No,
Other
seriously,
Choice,
though.
in
Seriously.
We
downtown
just stumbled
Seattle.
into it. We were just like,
Yeah.
That person watches movies.
The ultimate cinephile
Do you have a
city boy
podcast?
activity type of thing. It was, it was
pull up
very
to
funny.
Pacific Place on a Friday night.
Yeah,
It's about to be us tomorrow.
Literally about to be us. I love this film a lot.
Me too.
Jared, what did you settle on for final score and any of your final thoughts and no other choice?
Man, I can't talk enough about this movie. I think it's just so saucy. I just had so much fun watching it, and like I had a smile on my face the entire time, and I'm like, that's one of the highest compliments I can give a movie. I think it's the one that I'm gonna love for a really long time, and it's gonna grow on me. 4.5 for me. I'm right there because but I think there's just some objective things that I think like I could knock the point off. I think originally I was at a 4. Right now I'm a 4.5 because I'm just geeking out about this movie.
It's a geek movie.
Is it geeking out? Though, based on my Letterboxd bell curve distribution,
Yo.
maybe I'll keep it at a 4.
No.
No, I think a 4.5. 4.5. Papers out of 5.
4.5 out of 5 paper.
4.5 out of 5 pieces of paper.
Chris, how many papers out of papers are you giving Park Chan-wook's?
4.5 out of 5 choices that I don't have any of.
So 0?
Yeah, so 0. Yeah.
0 out of 0?
4.5 times 0 is 0. But no, I really dug the movie. I think it's just a thing where like, I think, it's great. It's got a lot of layers, got a lot of themes. I really enjoyed it. But the 5, you just kind of have to feel.
Yeah.
I'm very much like, if you feel it, if you think it's a 5,
That's very true.
You just know it's a 5. You just put it in
So true,
right away. You're
actually.
like, hell yeah, absolutely.
Don't let anyone skew that. If you think it's a 5,
Yeah.
it's a 5.
Yeah, like this is like
Five Nights at Freddy's, that's it.
That's a 5.
Changing my score.
5 stars at Freddy's. Yeah,
good.
but yeah, no, 4.5 is just like, I respect it. I really enjoyed it. Really didn't have any problems with it.
Right.
Yeah, I think just in general, it's a very solid movie. And if you're trying to get into Korean movies, and if you've just seen Parasite, this is definitely another good place to like start going down the rabbit hole.
And not the exact same. Not at all.
Yeah.
I love what you said. It's such a respectable film, whether you like it or not. Like, I respect what Park Chan-wook is doing with this movie. Like, it cannot be your thing, but like you gotta respect what's going on here. Like, he's doing some fun stuff.
Yeah, you just know that he knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Like,
that man is again born to make movies.
And I think we were talking. I'm just realizing another like thing we were talking about the editing was like, I can't remember a lot of the actual shots, but it felt like, like, wouldn't it be cool if I tried this? Wouldn't it be cool if I tried that? Wouldn't it be cool if I?
Yep.
And I like that. There's not too many people that I think have the authority or like have like the creativity. Maybe just some combination of both,
or even the balls.
Just to try it, just to be
Yeah.
like, okay, like, does this work? And if you watch Oldboy at some point in the future, you'll see that too. Like, that's always on display. You're just like, wow, that's a wacky cut that just happened there. I wasn't expecting.
There
that.
are many wacky
even the
cuts in that
stunts.
film.
Like, you're like, oh well, let's try it. Let's just see if we could just do this one shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's so he takes such calculated risks. You know what I mean? And like, this one seems like it's most experimental. Experimental, I say, in a way of like he is trying stuff.
I would also say it's kind of accessible too.
Accessible.
And-
Well, that's what makes it so good is that he's
Yeah.
taking chances, but it's accessible at the same time.
It's probably his most accessible movie, actually.
Yeah,
Definitely not Oldboy.
Did y'all watch?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I know you're about to give your score, but what was that other one that it came out a couple years
The
ago?
Handmaiden?
No.
Oh, we're talking about the one that came out in 2021, 22.
He came out-
Decision to Leave.
Decision to
I
Leave.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Is that next up on our list?
That might be next up because I feel like that was this was a good next step for him. That's what I heard.
I heard like the title card of that is like an hour into the movie or something like that. That's what I've heard. It was like it's a ridiculously long time for the title card to happen.
Oh, I love that.
That's
crazy.
That's the one thing I've heard about the movie is that like it's got like one of the most, I think maybe the second or third most like delayed title card in like movies that people that record that stuff. I think it's very funny.
That's
that's
insane.
also just like a goofy choice. Just
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Decision
Like,
to
yeah,
Leave
let me just
midway
put
through
this
the movie.
halfway through the movie.
Decision to put my title card at the 1 hour mark
Before you leave.
before you leave.
Yeah.
Seriously.
What was another one? Wasn't it like Babylon or something that had an insanely
Babylon.
long?
Yeah, I think we were
Right.
watching Babylon, and I think that
I
we
was
were
like, y'all
we were
know
like-
about Babylon.
We were like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Like
That's
the
crazy.
title card? Yeah.
Oh, it's now?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Harald.
what was your thoughts out of 5?
Easy 4.5 out of 5.
Wow.
Pulps.
Hell yeah.
We're still unsure on
Pulps.
how pulp
Yeah.
interacts with the paper industry, but we know it's there. I mean, serial killing has never looked so good. It's never been funnier either. That's at the end of the day, it's a
We're
serial
gonna
killer
submit
movie.
this to the record.
Submit it to the record.
What you just said.
Yeah.
In
Yep.
game.
Yep, we got him.
We got him, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. We have him now.
This is gonna be on the
Yeah,
hype meter
digital
on
footprint,
YouTube.
buddy.
Digital footprint's crazy. A movie like this that's able to balance like a serial killer, like not even a whodunit. This movie has nothing to do with the detectives in this film. They're just a passing character in Mansu's try and bring his family back up the economic ladder by bringing down everyone else. And in the year of our Lord 2026, there is nothing more pertinent to the conversation for unemployed people than this movie right now.
For sure.
Again, terrible digital footprint for your boy, but it's for unemployed people. This is an insane film to be watching.
You know how
at
there's
this
that-
point.
There's that
But yeah,
movie,
easy 4.5 out of 5. So good.
Amazing. You know how there's that movie of that serial like POV of the serial killer? I
No.
didn't watch it, but like literally this is that movie.
Park Chan-wook,
Is that
did you copy
Hardcore
that?
Henry? Is that the one you're talking
Hardcore
about?
Henry.
No.
Oh,
it was like
that's literally
it's
a first person
I think
movie.
it's actually not even out yet. I don't know, but it's supposed
What do you
to
know
be,
that we don't know?
I'm shooting the movie. It's the POV of
Are we
me
ready?
this year. Digital footprint.
Digital footprint,
Anyway,
man. I'm gonna do. Let's see this movie. POV first person. Park Chan-wook.
yeah,
Make it happen.
hardcore Henry, Park Chan-wook.
Collab.
Honestly, I'll take that. I would take
That'd be crazy.
POV movies are always a little crazy, but
Hey, something like this does get me excited though. If say like Bong Joon-ho like does his next movie as like a Korean film, we're gonna be blessed. Like some in the water.
Korean
Some in the water in
filmmakers-
Korea with Korean
Y'all are cooking.
filmmaking and sauce and a lot to say about their economy and like how it's split up among the classes and stuff. Because I mean, again, we live in a country where there's not one ethnic majority, but in Korea, you could say a lot more about how people are set in different caste systems based on that. In a movie like No Other Choice, it just hits it home in a fresh way, honestly, and very accessible, like you said. So 4.5 out of 5 across the board. Maybe a letterbox 4 for JJ Garalde, but we'll see how the bell curve works out for him down the lane.
We gotta work on that bell curve.
We're gonna work on that bell curve.
gotta watch,
I'd
like, a
love to
bunch of
see
ass
Kiko's
movies.
bell curve.
I just feel like every time. Okay, I don't know about y'all,
yeah.
but every time I rate a movie, it's hard for me. I mean, I hate. I don't like hating on movies because
No,
I
I
feel
don't
like
either.
it takes so much to make a movie, and I always find like if there's something. I always try to find something to like about it, and at that point, it's at like 3 stars.
As
You know
our
what I
friend
mean?
as our friend Doug says, all art is objectively good, but not to everyone. And I think that's not the worst way to look at it because
Yeah.
Talk about a guy with a bell curve. Doug
I just
Snyder.
feel like my critiques are never.
Talk about a bell
maybe
curve.
that has something to say about like my criticism style, but my critiques are never like damning critiques where I'm like, this is an objectively
Oh, man.
terrible movie. Maybe except for like The Room or something, but that's just hilarious.
But the thing is that the room is like it's terrible, but also it's like endearing because
Exactly.
because he
Yeah.
was trying to make a good movie. But
Exactly.
he's just like he can't do it.
I
Can't
think
do
the
it.
only
Yeah.
movies like
and he put
I
it out there,
really-
which is the biggest step
Yeah.
you have to take as a
Yeah.
filmmaker.
Because have you read The Disaster Artist? Have you read?
Yes,
have you read the
watched
book?
the movie. I haven't.
Have you read the book? Because like I've watched the movie and read the book, but one thing that like Greg Sestero really respects about Tommy Wiseau is that obviously he's a freak And like, you know, he basically acknowledges like,
Let's
yeah,
go.
this dude is a nut. Like,
Let's go.
He's insane. Like he treats people like very weird, like on the set. Like he's kind of a creep, but he's like dedicated to like, he was like so sure that he was making like a good movie. He was like, he was like dedicated to like, I'm gonna get this done. And like the response that he got was like not what he was expecting, but I think over time you sort of grow to like love it or get used to appreciate what people like. He's, you know, there's like screenings of it all the time, and like Greg Sestero like goes to him and like
he'll pop up.
It's like an event, but like not in the way like he thinks like, oh, universally, you know, I'm sure he was, you know, the great, like his magnum opus, like the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
But in some ways it is one of the greatest movies of all time just because of its reputation.
Yeah. No,
You know?
exactly. And I think like the only movies that I can really feel like I can hate on like objectively is like something that's obviously made in a boardroom. You know what I mean? Like
Captain
obviously
America,
brain rot.
like the Emoji Movie or something.
Oh no,
like
the Emoji
that. You know
Movie,
what I
half
mean?
a star. Yeah.
Captain America 4.
But even then,
Olaf's
there's like a
Frozen
value
Adventure.
to those movies from like a meme perspective. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Olaf's Frozen Adventure,
Olaf's
6 out of 5.
Frozen Adventure is maybe the worst thing I've ever seen in a movie theater.
Talk about it.
It plays
Talk about
before I have a mic in front of me. You can
Talk about it.
But it's like a 20-minute short that plays before Coco. Because I remember that.
It's the Coco short?
It was the Coco short.
No way.
It was the Coco. I remember it because like
terrible.
I really enjoyed it because I cried at the end of Coco.
We
I was
love
like,
Coco.
This is great.
We didn't.
But
We
I
love Coco.
But I remember I was watching it with my family. I was watching with my grandma because it's about like grandparents too.
Yeah.
And so I remember it was like a very like emotional thing. But like Olaf's Frozen Adventure, I was like, can we get on with the movie? Like this is ridiculous. And like
Oh my
Kiko's
God.
in front of the stage,
Just
just
seething.
waving his arms.
I am seething. This is my rant. This is my rant on something that I think is actually bad.
Yeah.
I think it's just like it's ridiculous. Like how long they stretch that out. I'm like, this has it doesn't serve a purpose of like having like a nice light short before a movie. It's like this thing is like they're trying to make Frozen 1.5 here. I'm like,
Yeah, no,
stop,
seriously.
stop.
Like this movie exists to further our corporate goals, like to increase our
it's
profit
a
margin.
hashtag cancel Olaf moment.
I mean,
I don't care about his
surprisingly though, that
adventures.
like unfortunately, I feel like that those kinds of movies are being hashtag cancel Olaf.
Yeah.
I feel like they're like more common nowadays. Unfortunately, I mean,
maybe on Netflix they are. I mean,
It's
like,
Netflix, Amazon
see, that's the
Prime.
thing. Like, I'm not
Apple
a huge
TV.
Netflix. That's true. You know, like
Talk about the slop of the century. Red One. No, we talked about Red
Bro.
One 3 times in the last 2 episodes.
okay, but you know what's crazy? I didn't hate Red One.
No, he's a part of the problem. Anyways.
you know, like, yeah, you know what though? There's like that slop, and I'm sure we're gonna start getting like some AI slop, and that's the movies I can hate on, right? Like, but
Unapologetically too.
I just feel like so many. Sorry,
No, I was
just
literally
so
gonna
many,
go ahead.
So
Go
many
ahead.
movies are like delicious garbage to me. Like,
Yeah.
I love putting a bad movie on and like kind of laughing with it.
what's your favorite bad movie?
Oh gosh,
Think
that
about
is
it.
a hard one.
Think about it.
I feel like you could have a whole.
I'm
segment
saying
on
Troll 2 right now. We talked about there's
Trolls.
Like
no
World's
Troll 2.
Oh, it's like Troll 2. Yeah, we did
Troll
talk
1
about
does not exist.
We did talk about that.
Only Troll 2.
that. What?
It's a
Yeah.
cult classic. Figure it out. I mean, Jonas is definitely. I'm not going to
So-
ask you to do any edits here, but y'all go look up Troll 2. They're eating them. That scene. They're gonna eat me. That was a
never heard of
terrible
this in my
breakdown.
life.
It's a meme. Look it up. Troll 2 is crazy. Saw it in middle school. Love to hate it. That was a fun watch. I do have to say, combined with a movie that we got out of Park Chan-wook, like cinema is a spectrum, like across the board.
100%.
And you got to enjoy what you got to enjoy. Some of it is objectively so much better than others. But of course, a Troll 2 should have been made. Like
Yeah.
these things should be made.
Sometimes it's like a movie. It's not like what it has to say, but how does it make you feel? You know what I mean? And some movies that like
Hakuna Matata, you feel
some
me?
movies just make me feel good. Like they don't have to be super nuanced. You know, I love, you know me. I mean, we all have been on this podcast talking about movies and everything and breaking them down, but like sometimes it's just this movie makes me feel good. Like, you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
doesn't
of
have
course.
much to say.
Of course.
But you know,
Naja won.
hey,
Hey.
I also think
First
there's just a time and place for all movies.
100%.
There's also just like the headspace you're in. Sometimes if you see a movie that you just did not want to see on that day, whether it was like a happy one and you're just not in a good
Oh, yeah.
mood, or or like a sad one, you're not in a good mood for it, you'll think about it differently. It's not just the movie. It's like, how your brain
You're
is
feeling.
is working that day.
Sometimes I'm in the mood like I just want to watch something lighthearted and nice. Hey. I love the Dungeons and Dragons movie,
dude. Yeah,
I still haven't seen it. Put it on the list.
Impressively fun movie. Like it's a fun,
super fun.
It's a fun movie
like
without
a D&D
being like
campaign.
Yeah, it's like a fun movie, but it's not like brain rot. It's like
not brain rot.
It's just fun. It's just a fun
it just
time.
feels like a bunch of people playing D&D and going on like this adventure and like where anything can happen. You know what I mean? And
seriously.
like I love that dynamic.
At least from what I've seen on YouTube Shorts of that movie, it looks like a fun time.
Dude, it's super fun.
I want to watch it. I feel like it's sacrilegious to be a semi fan of D&D and not watch it.
Do you have a bad movie recommendation or
Troll 2?
Troll 2.
Just watch Troll 2.
Okay,
you're
talking about like a bad movie that you would watch
that you enjoy.
A bad movie. You know what I mean?
Like just a bad movie.
What's a 2 out of 5 that you just
that
love?
you like or you
that
enjoy?
I like.
Mission
Not that
Impossible
you like, but
2.
you enjoy.
That I enjoy. I'm looking at
because like I could think of like for example, honestly, Five Nights at Freddy's, like that's a bad movie.
You know
but
what?
I enjoyed it.
You know what? We saw this together. The Minecraft movie.
Yes,
Steel.
That's a great example.
Movie, you know what? If I was in the right headspace, if I was just like doing something random, I'd throw that on.
Exactly. That's
it's
a great
just so
example.
dumb, but it's also just kind of fun.
I'm sorry,
Like,
that's a little brain rotty, but in a good way.
If you're walking into the room and you just have it on and you see Jack Black torpedoing through the sky, does that not bring a smile?
Right.
To your
Okay.
face?
See, this is what I'm saying. I think that's a perfect example. That's a perfect example. You're at like a family party or you're at your friend's house and you have a lot of downtime and that movie's just on. You can't change the channel.
It's
I'm gonna watch
all.
it. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm gonna be like, nice. You know what I mean? It's like one of those kind of movies.
I would take. You know what I really like? I don't even know if it's a bad movie. The first Sing. As like not a good.
The first what?
Sing, the
I
animated
haven't seen
film.
any of those movies.
And that's just a bunch of like
Sing,
singers.
exactly. It's just like kind of slop, but like you know, I'm gonna watch that movie.
I'll throw it on.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna throw that on.
Shrek the Third? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Shrek. Hey,
Shrek is 5 out of 5.
Shrek 1 and 2.
Where Shrek 5, please be not the slop that we're talking about, and the peak. Park Chan-wook.
What are you directing? Don't put that in the same name.
Directing the 5th Shrek. No, that's a lie. But think about it.
What? What are you saying right now?
But no, even like the Minecraft movie, like it's directed by Jared Hess, who did Napoleon Dynamite, and you got some of that.
That's insane.
Napoleon Dynamite energy. Like the first 15 minutes of the movie is like a Napoleon Dynamite type thing.
That's actually so true.
It's like weird ass comedy.
And he made that movie about the gonads.
School.
Well, Gentlemen Broncos is one. It's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of that, but that one's funny.
La 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 lava.
Oh yeah. Steve's Lava Chicken, dude. But there's even that line with like Jennifer Coolidge when she's going on a date with I forgot what the thing's called in Minecraft, but like
the villager.
The villager, and there's like the one joke where it's like, "Are you finished?" "No, I think he's Swedish." and I was like, "That's great."
Or even the very end where he's like, "I have been waiting. I have learned the language of your people."
That's where he starts talking.
So hilarious.
He starts talking.
It's just like voiced by the guy from in the Shadows or that one vampire show. It's so funny. So
great example. And like, you know what? Stoner movies, like, have y'all ever watched Harold and Kumar?
I've never watched Harold
and Kumar, White Castle.
Love those movies.
I have to say, as a man who grew up being asked, "Where's Kumar?" Like I had to. And White Castle, now that's a film.
But it's
I don't know if they're good
so
movies.
Bad by today's standards. Like in many ways, it's very offensive.
It's incredibly offensive.
But for the time, it was so funny.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
If that movie is on and somebody's, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it completely sober.
Yeah.
4 shots of
100%.
water. What a fun way to end this episode.
Yeah.
Watch cinema. Enjoy what you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be no other
choice.
choice.
The story is, you can like anything. You know what I mean? When you go to
Sundance, I want you to go to the least attended. I want to hear one of these least attended movies.
I wonder what would be the least attended though.
Could you even check?
That's what I wonder.
It'd probably be like one of the small submissions.
Yeah,
is it first come first serve?
Probably an international movie. I would assume that doesn't have a big star in it. I gotta check because there's still some things probably still available.
Find the next Guillermo del Toro. story of his first film. It's very famous. I don't know the name of it, but I've
Okay.
seen the interview of it where he's like, we barely got it in. And people showed up, but it was
They'll
like a
make it.
last minute submission. You gotta look for last minute submission, and then you'll come across a genius in the making. If you're able to make a movie, you're already pretty smart. So like I ain't gonna doubt that.
Yeah.
That's true.
It takes so long.
I'm sure.
Filmmaker in the making. This is what I'm saying. Anyways, one day we're gonna see your film. We're gonna interview you and then vigorously critique it. It's
Yeah,
gonna
come
be
back
great.
to this in
How many years?
20 years.
20 years.
20 years.
Give it 5. Give it
boy.
5. Give it 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it 5. It's a more realistic timetable.
Cool.
But I think we're gonna bid adieu to Chris.
Well, I'm not leaving right now.
He's leaving
Chris,
right
see ya.
now for
Okay,
the
ready for your
airport.
flight.
All right.
It's
I'm gonna
leaving.
get up.
Bye, Chris.
All right. I'll see you.
Enjoy Sundance.
Going back to my
And
dwellings here.
this has been another episode of Pinoys versus the World. As always, executively produced by Jonas Hyllseth. And he's going to poke his head in a little bit at the end here because he still has to say his ending as well before he leaves for Sundance. My name is Harald Hyllseth.
My name is Chris Angkico.
And I'm Jared Garalde.
And we'll talk to you all in the next episode at Sundance. Peace.